Hey there, viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Studio Series Double Punch. Now, this guy is kind of surprising because, well, he uses a kind of obscure name. Yeah, Double Punch is a name that's not been used for a couple years, but I guess they just decided to use it again because, I mean, it's a Scorpion Transformer that's not Scorponok. So, yeah. So anyways, let's start off with the box. So of course, we've got the, I guess, more modern style Studio Series boxes before they got rid of the backdrops. So of course, got Double Punch here in Scorpion mode, because I don't think he and Scorponok transforms in the film. He's 115, that's his name right there, and he's actually a Predacon, so got some Predacons in Studio Series now. And yep, from Rise of the Beasts. The side just got Double Punch right there. This side got another picture of him. In the back, got him in both modes. Big screen inspired. Volcano Showdown. And it says what he does in the film, although, yeah, well, this description makes it sound like he's an actual character. When in the film, Double Punch is more of an army builder, along with Scorponok, so you're more expected to buy multiples of this guy. So, yeah. And of course, with the backdrop. So, of course, just going to get that out. And of course, this is pretty much the final battle from Rise of the Beasts. So, you can just plonk Double Punch right here. Although, the back of the box makes him seem a lot smaller, because here he can barely fit on here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the box, and looking at the figure, well, it's a red Scorponok. And honestly, I quite like the fact that they used the name Double Punch again, because, well, as I said at the start, it's a really obscure name, because it was used for, I'm trying to remember, it was an Action Master Elite that used the name. Then that same character was using a BotCon figure, and then another BotCon figure. So, yeah. I think this is the first time this guy's just been released in general retail, because, like, 2 of them were BotCon and 1 was, like, Europe only. But yeah, the fact that this guy's called Double Punch is honestly kind of cool. And of course, looking at the Scorpion mode, because I don't want to say I skipped Scorponok, but like, I still do want to get him one day. But anyway, yeah, this is a really cool Scorpion mode. It's like all like cybernetic looking. I don't want to say Cybertronian, because of course these guys work for the Terracons, and like they work with Unicron, but but still, I love how this looks. Like, of course, got the Predacon logo right there. Got a port right there, I guess, if you want to plug in a stand. Of course, got the legs, which the back ones are just the robot legs, but here we've got the claws, which these ones don't open because it's pretty much just the hands and the shoulders together. But it's still pretty nice, and of course we've got the head, which that's actually the robot head as well, so pretty cool reuse of parts. Of course, got the red, which I quite like because red is a favorite color of mine. And of course, got the tail, which doubles as his accessory. So we can also look at the accessory here. And there's a bit of articulation on this because we've got there's a joint here, a joint here, and here. So kind of move the tail however you like, so you can have a bit more forward, a bit more backward. So yeah, a bit of options there. So you can just have him like scuttling along, I don't know, trying to grab someone and then stinging them. So yeah, this guy looks pretty cool, and I'm sure if you have Scorponok, this guy looks really cool alongside him. And I kind of hope that they do some more redecos just so you can fill out some more of this Scorpion army. Like maybe they do like an orange one and call it Sandstorm. Maybe. Just an idea. So yeah. And the underneath is pretty much just the robot mode chest. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Scorpion mode. So let's move on to the articulation, because yeah, it is a beast mode. The head can go up and down, although if you move it too far down, that's pretty much the robot mode look. It can also go side to side, kinda. The claws can move on this ball joint here. I'm pretty sure it's a ball joint. So they can move. They can go forward, so he can like feed himself, I guess. Got joints here. So if you want these a bit more outwards, then you can do that. For the legs, well, this joint here for the front two legs, these can sort of close up if you want. And seeing how these are the robot legs, it's pretty much the same articulation here. So a bit of knee here, and the foot can move. So yeah, not too articulated, but come on, it's a Scorpion. Like, you meant to just have it sit there and look intimidating. And seeing how it's a robot Scorpion, like this looks really cool. So yeah. And honestly, that's pretty much it for the beast mode. And seeing how he doesn't really transform in the film, I can pretty much see everyone displaying theirs like this, but well, let's get this guy transformed. So to start off, we're going to do a bit of parts forming, which, yeah, I know, but it is weapons parts forming, because he pretty much holds his entire tail like some kind of like whip weapon or something. So what we do is take the entire tail off. So be careful not to lose this. So we just set that off to the side, and let's start off with the legs. So what we'll do here is try and untab these and just spin these around. And then these will push upwards, like so. So we'll do the same here, untab this, spin all this around, and this will go upwards. Then the legs will untab. There we go. Oh, the chest also lifts up, so we can take the entire waist section here and just pull that outwards. And we can get the feet up and get them standing. The front two legs, I just keep these at the back. The claws, at the shoulder joint, we're just going to move this down and have this go into these little bits here. There we go. Then we can close up the chest. I'll try and have it so. Try not have it so there's like a huge gap in the chest. So if I can just try and get this aligned properly. So it's something like this. There we go. So you just want to close this up and then have it click into place, like so. And then just try and get them standing. Try and rotate the legs so they don't look awkward. There we go. The scorpion head, of course, forms his robot head, which is pretty clever. And then the claws, well, part of the claws are just his shoulders, but part, like, the other part, they just form his hands, so they just untap from there, move down, and just swivel around, like so. And well, here we have Double Punch in robot mode, and honestly, I quite like that transformation. Like, yeah, some bits are kind of fiddly if you don't know what you're doing. Like, when I first did it, I didn't realize that the shoulders had to be in like this, but once you figure it out, it's a really cool transformation, and I quite like how it's a Scorponok mold, while the claws do not fully form the hands. Like, the only other example I can think of is, like, the RAD mold. Like, yeah, some of it forms the hands, but they're not like claws. They're like creepy, long fingernail hands. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, and I don't know, you can just have these on the back, or you can split them out again if you have low shelf space, but yeah. The resulting robot mode, I quite like how this looks. It's like if, well, the intention is if these were Scorponok was in the films, and they captured that pretty well here. And in red, I love how this looks, even more than Scorponok. So, yeah, this is a pretty cool figure. Like, I think one of my only gripes has to be the leg kibble, but I'm sure you can find some way to sort this. Like, I'm sure you can find a way to fan mode this, but eh. And of course the head, which, keep in mind, this was the scorpion head as well, so bit of repurposing, which I do really like, because with other Scorponoks, like the original, that was like with other Scorponoks, the beast mode head forms his heels, or the kingdom one that just folds away. This one, same head on both modes, which I really like. So yeah. And of course, for the accessory, which I'm guessing if you want to, you can just still keep this plugged in, like so. So you can still do that if you want him to have a really long tail poking out of his ass, but I mean, that is an option. So you can do that if you want, but its main feature, just take this port, flip that down, take one of his hands, see that port there in the forearm. This plugs right into here, and the hand just nestles into it. So now he's got this huge Simon Belmont whip weapon, which, yeah, kind of goes off to the side, but still. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And honestly, I really like it. Like, you can straight up just sting others in robot mode now, compared to Beast Wars Scorponok, where that was just hang out his back. And I'm sure you can come up with some cool looking attack poses with this guy. I'm sure I will want to do the thumbnail. So, yeah. And honestly, I think this is one of my favorite Rise of the Beast Studio Series figures, just because, I mean, he looks cool in both modes. Like, I never got a chance to get Nightbird or Mirage, because they just immediately sold out. Pablo, that transformation sucks. But he's pretty cool. Prime was kind of awkward with how he released. Like, the Buzz Heavy one came first, and then we got the normal one as a reissue. RC that's just the core class, and Scourge is cool. Battle Trap is pretty nice, but I think this is probably my favorite one. This mold. Because, hang on, if I do the articulation. So the head can look up pretty far. Can't really look both sides unless you raise this. So it can barely look side to side, although it can sort of tilt his head. I don't know. Maybe he's confusing how Hasbro's distribution works, much like I am. But the shoulders can move, although gets caught in the legs there. Can kind of T-pose, although it's sort of on the hot rod style shoulders there, so just be careful. Double jointed elbows, which is pretty cool. Plus the wrists are on their own separate joints. And they can also move, so if you want him to do that RTF long hole stellar pose, then there you go. Or he's shrugging. Plus there's a bicep rotation. Waist, yep, bit of waist rotation there. If I get this out the way. He can kick forward, kick back. There's knees. Swivel there at the thigh. And the feet are on ball joints, so kind of a bit of pivot. I want to say barely any, but still. So, yeah. You can get this guy into some pretty cool, attacking poses. Yeah, the Scorponok and the double punches and the sandstorms and Scorps and whatever Scorpion Transformers there were in the film. They didn't transform, but this still looks pretty cool in robot modes. There's probably concept art of them transforming. This was probably made up just for the toy line. I don't know, but this mode is really cool. And the Scorpion mode is just as cool. And compared to Hatchet, who was my previous review, I much prefer this guy. Plus, if we put him with the backdrop, well, I'll have to split the legs out because he doesn't really fit with the backdrop otherwise. There we go. Yeah, he looks really good. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about this guy. Complaints. Honestly, I think some of my only complaints are I kind of wish that maybe the legs were done a bit better because, well, they're trying to transform them can be a bit awkward, as you saw during the transformation, the way that they transform is just, in fact, I popped the ball joint trying to transform him for the first time, but I think that's my only major gripe is how the legs work. In fact, that and the legs, because you saw how the legs can stick out pretty far if you just fold them back, which can be kind of awkward. But aside from those two complaints, I think the rest are just nitpicks, which honestly don't really affect the figure that much. I wish that this could maybe fold up and store in the back if you don't want to have him holding this, but aside from that, I really like this figure. Probably more so than Scorponok because I know I just kind of prefer red, but yeah, this guy looks really good. So, would I recommend this guy or Scorponok for that matter? Absolutely. He looks really cool in both modes. He's an army builder, so if you want, you can buy multiples. You get Terracons, and I can probably see them using this mold again, maybe in orange as Sandstorm or something. I mean, hey, why not? So yeah, really cool mold. I love how they reuse an obscure name. I hope they do it more in the future. So yeah, I love this figure. And honestly, I think I'm definitely going to get Scorponok in the future at some point. So, this has been my review on Studio Series Double Punch. And this is Charlie Young, signing off.